Hi, ho everyone. My name's Mr. Fruit, and welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 121. And in today's episode, we talk about all things video games, including Lost Ark, my time with it, Dying Light 2, recently coming out, and the short bit we played of that, Horizon Forbidden West, releasing the time we are recording this, Witch Queen, I think some other video games in there somewhere. Talk about the Super Bowl, the halftime, some new shows we saw during halftime, like Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power, and the trailer for the new Doctor Strange movie. A couple other things that aren't on here that we did talk about. We got through
your
most
mouth
of them.
guard.
Oh yeah, my expensive little toy. Oppa decided to chew. I don't know. We got through a lot of stuff, frankly. I think we did pretty good. And then Q&A. But some good stuff here, as always. Unless you hate the show, then
in which case, drop a like anyways.
Yeah, in which case, like, favorite, subscribe. Thanks. Share. And what else can you do on like Spotify? Is there like?
I don't know, tell your friends.
Yeah. Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, online therapy. Relationships take work, and a lot of us will drop anything to get someone help we care about. We'll go out of our way to treat other people well, but how often do we give ourselves the same treatment? BetterHelp showed me ways that I can invest in myself and better myself. This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to take care of yourself and your most important relationship, which is the one with yourself. Whether it's hitting the gym, making time to get a haircut, or even trying therapy, you are your greatest asset. So investing the time and effort into something like you is more important than anything. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers you video, phone, and even live sessions with your therapist so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and GG Over Easy listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/GG. That's BetterHelp.com/GG.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 121, a palindrome episode. There's, I guess what, 10?
How was this episode of Hand Cannon?
Purpose.
That's a Destiny joke. You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That's
that
great.
one's for all you Destiny listeners out there. You Des 2 listeners.
Like, I understand that reference, or anyone that knows English. I also know that reference.
I did a very obscure movie reference yesterday, and I'll be surprised if you guys get it. So I was eating a hamburger, and I was about to take a bite, okay? And I don't take the bite, and I go, "Oh, poo, I wanted mustard." If you name that movie, you can come to the barbecue.
I got nothing.
Oh, poo. Isn't that fucking Winnie the Pooh?
No. She's about to take a bite into a burger, stops to take the bite, and then goes, "Oh, poo, I wanted mustard." That's what she says. It's a very obscure late 90s, mid 2000s kind of movie. Think Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Good Burger. You guys ever seen Good Burger?
Oh yeah,
I have not.
But
it's when she's about to eat the poisonous sauce because they poison that guy's sauce. So it's those two old women when they're about to eat the poison sauce, and she's about to eat it, and then she doesn't because she wanted mustard. And then what's that guy's name in that movie? He just comes out and just smacks it out of her hand. She's like, "Ah!" It's so funny. That's a great movie.
It's been a while. That was 97.
See, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
Whenever I saw that was a really long time ago. Once, so
someone was asking me if I could name one movie that Sinbad is in, and I was like, Good Burger. Because
I was about to say, I didn't even remember Sinbad was in it.
Yeah, he's like the teacher, I think.
He's Mr. Wheat.
Kenan Thompson. Yeah. Well, and then he has the thing where he gets a Mondo burger at the end of the movie, And spoilers, the
What
Mondo
the?
Burger crushes his car. It's so funny. A great movie. It's like one of those movies, like if you probably went back and watched it, kind of maybe sucks. But
Probably, but
I loved it. You know, when he goes on a date with Carmen Electra and hits her in the head with a mini pot. Oh, that's like a great late 90s movie.
we just don't get those anymore, you know? It's not the same.
I did see the latest Jackass.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys are into those movies though.
I've never seen one.
You've never seen any of the Jackass movies?
Wait, really?
No.
Do you find that funny? Like, do you find that sort of kind of stuff funny?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
I've never seen Fruit to be the physical comedy type of guy.
I
People
bet,
in
like,
pain does usually make me laugh, but I don't know, that's just never really. It's like, I think it's funny when something accidentally happens to somebody, but they're actively trying to do it. So
like
I think
trying
that's,
to.
yeah,
That's
maybe
fair.
that's
That's
why.
fair.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
just
like,
never
here's
seen.
a stunt. Like, it's like in one of the first movies. So like, Steve-O puts on a, what do you call those deep diver masks? I guess.
Scuba
And-
masks.
Yeah, scuba mask, I guess. And somebody like a big fat guy just starts farting in a hose in a tube that's connected to like the air thing in
Ugh.
there, and he begins to vomit in said helmet. Now,
Are you talking
does
about
that
like
make
the,
you
like the
LOL?
pressurized, like
Yeah, like
nautical looking helmet?
Seas of a Thousand Truths or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
yeah.
That would be disgusting. And
It's
that
actually a really funny movie. You see a lot of balls and wieners.
Oh well, shoot! Now I gotta watch it, man. That's why did you tell me that first, bro? Like,
It's actually really
Should have
funny.
led with that.
I
Yeah,
actually
geez.
really enjoyed it.
it reminds me of a story recently, though. I don't remember what she was on, some reality show or something, but she recently had started like her OnlyFans, whatever. Except she was doing this service where she was sending people farts in a jar or
Oh,
whatever.
that's right. Yeah, she was on 90 Day
yeah.
Fiance.
Yeah, that's what it was. And yeah, she was hospitalized because she'd been forcing herself and like taking all these laxatives and stuff to continuously get enough farts to jar them.
Dude, that's a
Dog.
grind mentality.
And
right
you know,
there.
I respect her for like actually farting. I think
Yeah,
at some
'cause,
point
like,
I
who
would
would
have
know?
found a way, to just like make a little fart smell.
Spar spray, and then just like
So,
like, there's
hey,
something you.
I
Can
respect that hustle.
do. Or put like hot breath in there, like maybe that'll kind of.
Yeah, so the fact that she was really cranking one out every time, like that's
Would
That's
you do that?
impressive.
Like something
If
so
if there
shameless,
was a market for my farts, fuck yeah, that's free money.
like so shameless indeed, but it was just so like, well, like anybody would do it,
nobody wants to smell my farts, man. Trust.
You're right. Nobody does.
You're right.
Trust.
You are right.
Sorry. And I'm just
No,
thinking of that
but-
one time.
Nobody would want to buy those.
I got that infamous story of that poor kid. We were taking a real quick. It's for those who haven't. We were taking a picture with a fan at like GCX, I think, or something. And this poor kid, maybe be like 11 or 12, something like
Oh
that.
no.
And somebody just leaves, and he just goes to me and goes like, "Yo, I just want you to know I farted." And I go, "Okay, like, cool." And then like,
If I'm giving you a heads up that I farted, it means it's gonna be bad.
So like we begin to like talk to the kid, meet him and stuff, like, and so far like not smelling anything, bro. And as soon as we go to take the picture, bro, it like, oh my god, it was the most disgusting smell I was like, oh my. And then like that poor
Another
kid,
day.
bro, was just like smiling still. I was like, that was so fucked up.
What do you want me to do? I can't.
Yeah,
How
hold
can
it
you
until,
fart on
like-
if you can't fart on your fans?
You never had farts like that. You can't hold those farts in, bro. Doesn't happen.
I guess.
But what do you want to say? It just is what it is. It happens. Just got fart.
It's
But I've also
natural.
had this like eyelash. I swear to God, my eye for the past like 5 days.
An eyelash?
Yeah, like just or something stuck in my left eye.
Oh, like a stray eyelash that just like.
I can't. It's
Why don't you just
gonna
pull
suck.
away,
I've
and like
tried.
eventually you'll
No.
get one of them, right?
I've tried for days. Nothing. I've tried like washing out with water. I got nothing.
Has it been bothering you on stream?
It's on and off. Like right now, it just starts aggravating me again. So about to Summit smash my eye. Oh. Speaking of Summit, who has been streaming this game?
Oh, good choice.
Lost Ark.
Fruit Summit. Also, yes, Lost Ark.
Are you
that's
still
COVID.
playing it? That's like the MMO boat or whatever it is. It just missed me. Like that was the one I said. Bye.
Well, that was Rob's like, yo, dude, I'm getting on tomorrow to play Lost Ark.
Yeah.
I still never gonna forgive you for Division, what you did to us.
Yeah.
Rob does that
Me
a
and
lot.
Fruit.
That one too.
Me and Fruit, we're ready to fucking grind. First day,
Blue Knight
like,
did.
I don't know. I
this,
was just
baby.
watching Lost Ark and it just did not seem fun to me.
Let's do this.
New
Rob
World
was there for
seemed
6
kinda
hours.
like
Gone.
fun. Yeah,
So
so I'm saying
you
I'm
could
still
at
working
least
on
be
that
like,
one.
hey, I don't. It just doesn't. You just the thing is, you just never say anything. So then it's
Yeah,
like
me and Fruit were just like 2 days in. Me and Fruit were like, "Yo, he's not coming back." Is he?
Yeah.
In
I'm
fact,
still
this
working
is
on
like-
that assignment.
this is also on the list, but the exact same thing happened with Dying Light 2.
Dude,
keep asking
okay,
Rob.
I
My
wasn't
chat's
talking
like,
about that. Dude, it
when
was
you played
not-
with Rob, and I'm like,
Did you think it was fun?
I didn't think it was bad, but also you didn't say anything. It's like keep asking, like, hey, what do you want to play? You want to play today? Hey, what about today?
I didn't think it was
tomorrow.
that fun, dude.
How about the day after? Everyone
It
keeps
just-
asking me. He's like, I don't know. He hasn't said anything.
I mean, I'll play it, but like, it is not as good as the first one. Or like, I don't know. It just seems very run to this. I don't know if the first one was. I don't know. Like, maybe I
that
was a
is
different gamer
fine,
then.
but what I need you to do is just tell me that. So
Let me
for a
know,
week, I'm just
bro.
like, I don't know what we're doing. I'm in
all.
Give me
limbo.
something,
I will be an
dude.
Iron Banner today, though. I don't know if
Okay.
you will be there.
Gotta okay.
I'll be an Iron Banner today.
Okay. That's just too funny. Yeah. So anyway, Lost Ark. It's actually a lot of fun. I've been playing it casually. I played a little bit first day on stream. The rest has been off stream with some of my friends. I'm gonna keep it cash. I could see myself playing a good bit of it, but the thing is, it couldn't have come at a worse time. Like, I just don't have time to actually invest into it, which might actually be good in long term, so I don't burn myself out or anything.
Yeah.
PvP was really fun, and it'll just kind of be up to, because I got like Kevin, Robbie, Corey are playing it. So as long as they keep playing it too, I'll stay.
Did they really like it?
Corey is undecided. Kevin he likes it, but he's also just hopelessly addicted to League and Destiny, so you can barely get him off.
So he's got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Robbie likes it, but Robbie has an interesting conundrum where he only plays games 2 ways. Where he goes balls to the wall, super deep, omega grind all the time, or he doesn't at all. And there's no in between. And so with the Lost Ark, he's kind of trying to not go super hard, and especially because we're not having as much time, he'll just be alone, super ahead. And so because of that, I think he's disinterested, because like he had more hours that first
endlessly
month of
grind
New
the
World
time.
than me. And that's just
Yeah.
like that's just a usual month for him, you know? So if he's not doing that in Lost Ark, he's just kind of very meh about it. So we'll see. I'll get a better idea too, because I'm like logging in and doing stuff daily very slowly, but after like a couple weeks after Witch Queen and stuff, it'll be interesting to see where it all is. So see. The combat alone it's just so satisfying.
That's good.
It's
Glad
like-
you're liking it.
The best way I can put it is I'm playing mouse and keyboard, but the combat makes it feel as if like my mouse is rumble. It's just like so visceral. It's meaty.
Have you been listening to the story at all? Like, is the story cool or not?
I've been listening to the click of my G button.
Okay.
It's exactly like New World. There's some unskippable cutscenes I can't skip, and then I watch them. There's something I'm like, oh,
Like,
that's
this
cool.
looks interesting.
Look, I'm gonna get to the end, watch a
What
YouTube
level
video
are
if I
you?
care. 40. The max is roughly like 50 essentially, and then from there it's gear score and stuff. But the difference is like I've maybe put in like 16 hours, and I'm almost max level.
Wait, really? Just 16. Interesting.
Whereas New World,
New World. Oh my god.
300 hours and I'm hitting max level. Because the difference is, one, this game's very alt friendly, whole bunch of different classes, and literally once I hit level 50, I get a power pass, which lets me pick a new class and immediately level them to 50. And once I use that, they give me another free one to do another alt character and immediately level them to 50. So you can just be like, okay.
Just chains? Like,
well, I think it's just those like first 2 free. Then
okay.
you can make as many characters as you want, and you could go through them. And then I think after that, you could like buy a power pass. The point is, like, I'm playing Soul Fist. It's pretty fun. But if I'm like, hey, I want to try this, it's just boop. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying Lost Ark. Pretty cool game. We'll see if it has legs in the West. Most MMOs, frankly.
Speaking of the West, are you guys playing Forbidden West?
Nice.
That just came out. Yeah, it's a great transition.
That was pretty
Well
good.
played.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really good.
I'll add.
I downloaded
I
it.
want to. I don't have a PS5, Sag.
Wait, really? Still?
Dude.
Well, no, but I'm just saying. At this point, I'm sure Dado would have hooked you up. Like,
yeah, if you ask Dado,
he'll get.
I did that with the Xbox. I was like, hey, Dado, I need an Xbox One Series X. If you find next day, it's like, yeah, I got one. I'm like, okay.
Okay,
cool. I look everywhere they're sold out, but I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna ask. You know.
I'll check my local Best Buys, Blue. If they ever restock, we can buy
Wicked.
one. I'll sell it to you for retail.
That reminds me, I was gonna download this before I started it, but
yeah.
But
I never beat the first one, so I hope that really doesn't hinder.
What the?
Yeah,
so
I got. Well, it was good. I just don't remember why I stopped playing it. I don't like. I mean, maybe I discovered CS around then. I have no idea. Like,
and then everything changed when he discovered CS:GO.
Yeah. Open my wallet and just hear.
Well, what was the last game you remember, like, actually going all the way through?
And like beating?
Yeah.
Probably Doom Eternal.
Was that a couple years ago?
No, that's probably like a
2.
No, I played a single player game. No, Ghost of Tsushima. That's the game. That's a game. I didn't beat the DLC, but I did beat the whole game.
You beat the main story?
Yes. Whenever that came to PS5, that is the last game I played beginning to end and actually complete.
What? Without spoilers, whatever. Which ending did you choose? Honor or no honor?
I'm trying to remember. Honor, I believe. Whatever the one you chose. I think we chose the same.
Okay. The honorable.
Yeah, I think we chose the same. Yeah.
And everyone was upset at me. But I was like, really? Realistically, this is the best play. Everyone who chose the other one. Yeah,
that's what I would like. Like, that is what I would do in real life. Like, if you're asking for honor, I give honor.
For honor.
Yeah.
Aren't you close to finishing Hollow Knight? How have you been liking that?
That's sick, dude. Hollow Knight is really sick. If I didn't hit this weird depression rut that I'm currently in, but we do have a kitten interview today.
With Pattery.
Let's
go. We have an interview today. Very nervous about it.
Wear like little kitty ears. That'll help.
Yeah, so the plan is also for people that think I'm just going to a breeder. We're also saving a cat from the Humane Society. So we're getting Bougie Cat, and then we get like one from the that we're rescuing. So it's like Rusty, and then you got like Belle or something like that. You know what I mean? One that's lived the bougie life and one that's seen some shit. And then they'll both be kittens, and then they'll be brothers. Or we don't know really what genders yet. Kind of up in the air about.
See where it takes you.
Did you specifically want Olive to be a girl, or was it kind of just?
Well, Olive was whatever. She just happened to be a girl. Appa was specifically a boy because you don't want 2 girls. Typically with dogs. Girls are usually alphas. And so if you have 2, usually they don't get along as well as guy girl. Because like Appa knows his place. It's like,
yeah,
hey, that's you. That's all you.
Yeah.
Whereas if we had 2 Olives, oh my god, Lord be with me. I don't know if I could do it.
Did you specifically want a boy, Blue?
No, I just kind of like whatever popped out. To be honest,
Yeah. Yeah. So
I would have taken it over. I definitely think I would have preferred a girl.
All of his
But
little girl.
Boomy's in the back.
but I'm not gonna lie. Boomy's a boy. The reason I preferred having a girl is because girls are usually less. What's the word?
Humpy.
Excitable, and also yes, less humpy. Less. Oh, just girls are just more chill. And while I wouldn't trade Boomy for the world, sometimes I do have moments where I'm like, Jesus Christ, you are a boy chihuahua. Like,
Would be wild.
Yeah.
in the same way that Fruit is like, yep, Appa is a boy.
Well, the thing is, he's never humped. He's never done
Oh
any of
no,
that.
but
He
he's
never
a
humped?
fucking but boy
Olive
dogs are
humps
fucking
more than Appa.
firecrackers.
Well, that's like because like it's a dominant thing, right? Like if she's trying to.
No,
show,
she'll
like,
just.
Oh, she'll just go to town.
Yeah, maybe she's just got an itch. It's very
She's
strange.
trying to get.
But
her
it'll
nut,
usually just
dude.
be like on a blanket or something. I don't know. Getting it comfy. Who really knows? But I did recently.
You don't have like big toys that you just leave around.
There's no toys that survive more than 5 minutes.
That's fair.
Rubber
That's
towel
fair.
or rubber tire lasts for. That's been around since the beginning.
The rubber tire is the only one that lasts, and that's because they just don't like to chew that one. They only want you to throw it. And that's the only toy we've ever found. And that's the case. All the others die a violent death very quickly. And then you have like,
I was gonna say
the toughest chewing things. And then Olive's like, bet in 10 minutes, you're like, where did it go? I don't get it. So you just give up. Yeah.
I was gonna get you guys some BlueWestlo plushies and have see if the dogs wanted one as well.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Speaking of toys they like, Appa found a nice little $2,000 toy he enjoyed.
2,000? Okay, I guess 2,000.
Go for it.
2,000, dude. That's more expensive than an iPad, right? Like
during the Super Bowl, nonetheless.
Oh my lord, 2,000? God, it's got to be like a camera or something like that. Like, my guess would be like some sort of like DSLR camera that you left somehow on the ground or something like that.
Well, you got to guess.
2,000.
I'm trying to think what cost me $2,000.
Maybe if it's Super Bowl Sunday, you're probably in your theater room.
Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
So those chairs are not cheap. So it's either the chairs or something to do with your projector.
Oh, I didn't think that.
You're both wrong.
Oh.
My mouth splint. Appa.
Oh no.
Destroyed my mouth splint. Yep.
I was wondering why you didn't have it in. Like I was like, oh, okay.
I just got a new one yesterday. For
a
small, measly fee of $2,000. Thanks, Appa.
Is that with insurance?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. They got us by the balls, this capitalistic bullshit.
Well, it's like I went to see an oral surgeon Tuesday. Did a little consultation. And for one x-ray, which was bizarre, but they're like, we need to do it anyway, even though I've gotten x-rays before, and we figured out like bone's not the problem. For that, and literally 10 minutes of him telling me how my jaw works, even though I already know. What is essentially wrong with my jaw, even though I already know. He's like trying to explain it to me. I'm like, no, yeah, I know. Yep. I know. It's conduct. Yep, I got like, been a year and a half.
Just give me the bill.
And so he's like, yeah, so I think we're just going to go send you to get an MRI. I'm like, okay, knew this was going to happen. That'll be $400.
No.
Like, oh, Jesus. So then I was going to go see another oral surgeon too, because best to get at least a separate opinion. And then I told Claire, I was like, just tell them we're not coming until I have the MRI, because I'm not going to pay another $400 for them to go, yeah, we need an MRI. Such a scam, man.
That's why, like, I don't go.
I don't have a choice. I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't. So
that's true. Yeah. I mean, like, and at some point, I'm gonna pay the piper for this shoulder thing. Like, you know.
Yeah, but
like,
here's the thing though: is if you wait longer, you're gonna end up paying more and regretting it more
exactly.
than if you just did it now. It'll be expensive now, but not as expensive as it. Yeah, but I'm fine.
I'll just get struck by lightning by then. Like, whatever. Like, who cares? We'll be fine. But okay, so wait, how did he get to it? Like, did you just like, oh, I'm gonna eat some food or something?
Oh yeah.
Like,
So literally the only time I have my splint out is when I'm eating, and in the theater, we have the seats have the little cup holders. So I typically put it at the bottom of the cup holder. I put something on top of it, and then there's like little trays that go on the seat, and then I cover it with the tray.
Just because you already know it's a possibility.
Yeah, because I know I've gone a year and a half, like freaking like staying vigilant, making sure it doesn't happen. And sure enough, I eat my food, I go down to grab it, and I still don't know how he got it.
You were so in that. What were you eating? Wings? Like, what was it that you were eating that was so good you didn't hear your dog go?
Oh, Claire made burritos or something.
Yeah,
I can't roll the R's like you're supposed to, but it's like well, it's like
you dip it.
Yeah, you dip them, but it's like these it's essentially like a taco, but it's this giant flour tortilla that you soak in this like almost kind of like mole sauce-ish, and you put like slow roast meat, like pulled slow roast pork in it or something, and then it's spiced with a whole bunch of these peppers. You melt cheese with it, and then you dip it. It's almost like au jus, but specifically what you use to make the taco. Delicious. But that's what I was eating.
Sounds great.
And it was maybe 10 minutes. I still don't know how. So I ate it. All right. Go to grab it. That little like boo.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like not there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm like, it can't be anywhere else.
The dog.
And immediately, yeah.
Where'd the dog at?
And what do we know? Alper's got it there in pieces. I'm just like,
where is he? Like, is he like in front of you eating it?
It was
like...
under my chair because like it extends, so he likes to like sit under because I'm usually have a blanket too. It's like this little teepee. They used to go on their thing under the blanket in the chair. And so like Claire had heard him chewing something, but we figured it was a toy. They're always chewing on their little toy.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. Different toy. Oh,
damn, dude. That sucks.
So I went 4 days though without it. It was brutal. I like didn't eat it.
It just stops you from like going too high in terms, right? It just stops you from.
Well, the main thing is it pushes my bite forward at all times, which is what's relieving my jaw, and then also putting like the condyle.
So you couldn't just walk in there and be like, "Hey, like I just want a new mouth guard." They're like, "Okay, we're gonna need you to do a $400 class in order to get the $2,000 thing."
Well, no, the oral surgeon is completely separate. The splint is from my dentist. Because they don't do that. The reason I'm at an oral surgeon is because the splint isn't working. The splint helps it, but unless I want to wear this for the rest of my life. And on top of that, I can chew, but I still can't eat a lot of things. The idea was this was supposed to work, and then we tried it, and it didn't. So now it's on to what he thinks. Hopefully, at first, some sort of an injection, and then splint therapy. Not quite, but
where are they injecting you?
It literally right into that joint, like right where you have your skull, and then you have your jaw, and they meet in the ball joint. You have your muscles, and so they're trying to inject right there into the muscles.
Is it a hinge joint or a ball joint or jaw?
Technically a hinge, I guess, but that's kind of the problem right now. Is it can kind of do whatever it wants, because that layman's term is essentially you have your bone, your jaw, and it goes in your skull, and you have the little cavity. Yeah. Just like your knee, it's not bone to bone because God,
it's like a nice little goo.
You have muscles, and specifically you have a thing I believe it's called a condyle. It's like a little disc, and so it sits between those bones, and then essentially it'll move where it needs to go, so that when your jaw moves, you're not making contact. Well, what's wrong with mine is one, that jawbone is kind of deteriorated, so it's a little smaller, so it's starting to rattle up in there. And then
Yeah,
what
it's
ends
got
up
a little
happening is when more room, that condyle will slip, and what ends up happening is my jawbone connects to the skull bone essentially, and that's what locks it.
knee bone.
And yeah, so that's
So
what they're trying to figure out.
I just imagine like a doctor just fucking jamming a thing in your face. Just
Yeah,
that'll
I'm
fix
sure
it.
it'll be really nice. So that's probably what we'll do next, because you go from least invasive to most, like as safe as you can, which is like splint, no invasiveness. It's about as safe of a place we could do. It didn't work, so now we'll go there. And if that doesn't work, then it'll be some sort of surgery. And I imagine if that doesn't work, it'll be even more drastic. But let's hope
Like mouth
next one will do it.
transplant? Like what's the most drastic it gets? Mouth transplant? Like they just transfer jaws? Like you get a new jaw
I
from
don't
a
think that's
donor?
how that works, but probably metal plates and whatnot.
Oh,
Lord
you'll
knows.
be like Kanye. You'll be like the good Kanye though, the spit it through the wire
I was
Kanye.
gonna say, am I the Kanye yelling at Kim, posting the messages? Is that the?
No, you're the Kanye that's spitting it through the wire, man.
I don't
That's
want
the
to
great
spit through the
Kanye.
wire, man.
Yeah,
So that's
that is
where I'm
pretty
at.
scary though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for you, dude. If you need any consultation, I too am a doctor that will offer. I'll do it for 200 to tell you the same thing you already know
Well,
about your mouth.
sheesh. Yeah. Let me.
That's
Where do I
50%
sign?
off.
Can you fit me in today? Like, wow.
Nah, I'm busy. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Monday.
Other ones. Nope.
Okay.
We're busy then too.
But I will say I appreciate my doctor or my dentist, because he got this thing done in 4 days, and it does not take 4 days to get this done.
Well, you're family. You're like family, son. I could get you this.
Well, the problem is, like, I had to get molds again because my bite and stuff
I
has changed a little
hate,
bit.
dude. That is the worst part about getting anything teeth done. When you put the big mouth guard with the stupid gauze, and then like it seeps into like the back of your throat. So you're like, "Hi, shit." Like I'm gonna just leave it. Like I hate that.
Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Relationships take work, and a lot of us will drop anything to get someone help we care about. We'll go out of our way to treat other people well, but how often do we give ourselves the same treatment? BetterHelp showed me ways that I can invest in myself and better myself. This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to take care of yourself and your most important relationship, which is the one with yourself. Whether it's hitting the gym, making time to get a haircut, or even trying therapy, you are your greatest asset. So investing the time and effort into something like you is more important than anything. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers you video, phone, and even live sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and GG Over Easy listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/GG. That's BetterHelp.com/GG. Can I get a round of applause from everyone today? Today, I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not-so-private parts. I'm talking about leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. This is all-in-one skin and hair kit for everyday man and covers you for head to toe, literally. Manscaped is trusted below the waist, now trust with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code GG. I've been using the 2-in-1 shampoo and the body wash, and it smells so good, and I look even better. It comes with 4 products: the Manscaped Premium Deodorant, the Hydrating Body Spray, the Body Wash, and plus a free gift. That's 4 products plus the gift inside with the Ultra Premium Collection. What a score. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GG at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code GG at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in the bottle thanks to Manscaped.
He knows a guy who got it done real quick. So, like, when my jaw is at least temporarily okay again. Still can't chew like anything. Like, Claire makes these overnight oats, and there's this brownie flavor. They're like protein oats, and there's like these little chocolate chips in them. I can't chew the chocolate chips. That's how bad it is. Like I'm still essentially just eating soft food. The one nice thing is I can kind of eat pizza because you can kind of mush it up. The way I see it is, as long as I can eat pizza, we're okay.
Sushi?
Yeah, it's just as long as the roll isn't too big, like to actually put, because it's like, so if I can't open a certain distance. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that again. What you just did, no, man. Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. So enjoy it while you can.
I hurt, yo.
If it hurt you, man.
I don't know. I'm sure in 5 years I'll never be able to do this again. So who's laughing? You know.
Not Harambe, because they didn't bring it home for him.
I like how that became like Harambe was back in like the limelight.
Hey, he never left, at least in my heart.
In our fucking world, he didn't. But in most people, normie world, live with less.
Harambe, that's a name I haven't.
His hit day came and went.
Yeah, to them it was just another day. Which is what's wrong with them. It wasn't another day. Why do you think we are where we are in the world right now, huh? Russia about to invade Ukraine. 8 new variants of Ligma. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's up?
So you guys know when like a creator or like let's use who's the guy that voiced in The Last of Us? Who's the guy that voiced the main character? Trey
Nathan
something.
Drake?
What? No. The Last of Us.
Oh, The Last of Us. Troy Baker is his voice actor, right?
Yeah, that guy. So he did like his voice NFT thing.
Oh yeah.
And like rightfully so, roasted. Like they got roasted like into oblivion. How come we don't do that? I mean, we do, I guess, but like, how come like the celebrity and crypto commercials were just out the ass this year? I feel like I have never seen more crypto commercials in my life.
Because they have the crypto money right now.
I mean, crypto's mainstream right now. So, like...
Yeah, and they know they can get normies to invest right now because it's like buzzword. They're like, ooh, crypto, I've heard of that. Like, hey, my buddy who knows a buddy...
really investing?
But they're like my buddy who knows a buddy who knows a buddy said that he invested in Dogecoin and made... It's like something like that, right? It's like, and he made so much money. What? Like, yeah, dude. I think it's one of those things right now. It's a bit much. Like the Matt Damon commercial, I was like, Matt, what are we doing here, buddy?
Crypto is just at this point like Silicon Valley gambling.
I don't even think it's like, I feel like Silicon Valley gambling is the stock market. Like that's what those people use.
The stock market is the stock market, Rob.
No. It is what it is.
Crypto is Silicon Valley gambling.
I just had, because like normally it's like, oh, these, like I don't remember any good commercial, like other than, I will say, for marketing sake purposes, having the scanner or like having the QR code and going from side to side, like as if it's like a DVD player thing, is good marketing because it made me pull out my phone and stuff like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't pull out my phone. You
didn't see that commercial? So it was like a QR. You might have been like freaking out that Oppa ate your thing at this moment. But you know how like the DVD thing, it's like, oh, will it hit the corner thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do. So it was like that, but it just had a QR code, like just a QR code. And it was like a minute long. Like that ad spot must have cost.
Well, what was it for?
Coinbase.
Of course.
Yeah. So, well, because like.
Well, I saw those. There was FTX. Commercials. I think there's even a couple other like crypto things.
Well, FTX is your favorite esport org, so
not anymore.
Oh,
not one. Not since they let my boy Burt go. 2, their league team currently is just an absolute dumpster fire. Everyone essentially I've liked with the org has literally left the org, and then all this extra drama where it's just like, okay, well,
I like Liquid.
Yeah, I guess
I do like Liquid, but that's only because the merch drops. Fuck.
I like Liquid.
They got Naruto drops too. Like, sheesh.
Their merch drops. Fuck.
So yeah, Super Bowl. Well, it was good. It was close. That's what was a nice thing. It was like in fact, almost all these playoff games, except for the first wild card weekend, which is ironic. Like probably the worst wild card weekend But then the
Well,
rest
it's just
of
going to
them,
be like that since they added those new
the
teams
7
in.
seeds, yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest, just bangers, man.
Dare I say better than the Demon Slayer season?
That's hard.
You're
It's
ballsy
hard to
man,
say.
Rob.
I'm just a sports fan.
I mean, I'm with you. Then there was, of course, as always, a little contested referee. It was bizarre because it's like they essentially got the ref team who was just like, just let him play football, dude. Like,
Yeah.
throw like 2 flags maybe, and they did for like the entire game until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter,
Those
which
were
is
both
what
penalties.
the one that it was ironic because they missed a call on a second down that was super obvious. Well, no, that was second half. The face mask on Ramsey.
Mhm.
It was second down when they're red zone at the end of the fourth quarter. And there was it was like super obvious hold or something. And they don't call it. But then third down, it was the holding call on Cup. And they show it, and there's like no contact. Like, I don't even know where they even got the word holding there.
He's
holding.
There's the term you have, hold. And if you cut to it, he's impeding his step by pulling.
That was
across his
Goodell
jersey.
being like, "Hey, we can't have this in yet."
I'm throwing a flag every time. That's a penalty.
Nah.
Okay,
And
that's
so
fine.
they gave him an extra 4 free downs, which is fine. Whatever. It seems like that's always come down. So then they end up getting a touchdown. And then the Cincinnati play calling, or I don't know what the fudge that was. And Aaron Donald got the stop.
I just
happy
don't
for
like
Natty.
feed the ball to Joe Mixon more. I just don't get why they kept just putting in like Chris Evans and Samaje. It's just like, I get it, like that's what you've been doing all season, but this is the fucking Super Bowl. Like, give it to your boys.
Yeah, it was pretty. It's like, aside from, because like if they hadn't given them that call, the Bengals, that or the first play technically of the third half or third quarter, is that what it was? Or whatever it was.
Second half.
Yeah, second
first
half.
play of the second half.
Where they got that bomb for like 60, 70 yards, and they completely
Yeah.
missed the face mask on Ramsey. If they hadn't gotten that, the game wouldn't have been close. Because really, after that drive, Bengals didn't really get much going.
No, they but it was like, I was really expecting a blowout. I was
Yeah,
expecting.
I was still happy with it.
Yeah, the game was awesome.
Like, if it still comes down to a last minute fourth quarter drive, it's like, what else could you ask for?
The halftime show was sick too. The fact they had 50 coming upside down doing into club. I was like, let him do mini man, but he didn't. So
Did you know they didn't get paid for that? I didn't realize. They don't get paid to, like, at this point apparently, like Dre
it's so much
fronted
publicity or something.
Dre essentially paid like the $9 million to do it. To like actually
Really?
like coordinate, and like he essentially paid for that halftime show. And they didn't make money back.
I felt like Jay-Z was like hired by the NFL to like oversee. You think like,
that's because that's what I was like, man, I wonder how much they're making. Apparently nothing. Apparently,
well,
I think
it's so much publicity at that. Like, okay, so for example, like Mary J. Blige, love Mary. She did this song, "No More Pain." I totally forgot about that song, dude. That song was like
core memory unlocked.
"No More Pain." I started going like, "Yeah, Mary." Like, I forgot about this. I was like 8 years old the last time I heard that shit, and now I re-downloaded it on Spotify. It made me go back and listen to Mary's play. So like maybe that's kind of how they see the Super Bowl, and it's just like so much free publicity. I guess.
I'm sure they got paid. The thing is, Dre, who was the frontliner, he definitely did not get paid.
Well, I will say,
he's so fucking rich, you know, he could just be like, sell more beats, and it's all right. Okay,
I will say it was just very stark. It was like the old guard, and then Kendrick Lamar. It was just a weird disconnect where they're like, "Hey, look at all these," but it felt like, "Hey, we're throwing it back to like these huge names in hip hop and stuff."
Yeah, and then Kendrick.
And then
Kendrick's
there's
here too.
Yeah, and then there's Kendrick, which I can't help. I was gonna say, like Claire was asking, is like, I have a feeling that's to get a lot of the people in, like the newer kids who are like, Eminem, that guy that played Nate Byler's Mom's Spaghetti, and who's but I know Kendrick, and so I think that's how.
Well, I saw this funny tweet, and it was basically like, do you remember like when you were in like a kid in 2006 and 2007, and the halftime shows were always like The Who or the Rolling Stones, and you're like, man,
yeah, you're like, who are these?
Why is it for all these old people? And then you get to the Super Bowl now, and you're like, God, this halftime show looks sick. And then you realize,
and all the kids now are like,
man, who are all these old people?
Yeah, and we're like,
Super Bowl ended, looking in the mirror, like.
Sydney did put a big bet on Cooper Kupp to win MVP though, which is pretty cool.
Well deserved, I think. I mean, like,
he had like the greatest season ever.
Well, that, and then especially once I felt terrible for OBJ, because what little he played, he was doing great, and like, this is everything he wanted to. Yeah, and then he first quarter's out. So then, literally after that, it was literally just Matt Stafford with Cooper Kupp crutches. Like, come on, guys, we're getting there.
He is unbelievable, dude. Like, it's crazy, and like it's crazy to see how far he's come. Like Sydney, I picked him up off the waivers like 3 years ago, his rookie year or however long ago that was, and I was like, Sydney, this guy or this guy? And she's like, Cooper Kupp. I like his name. And now he's like the greatest wide receiver in the league, like, and has probably what is the greatest season to ever happen to a wide receiver ever. I think it was like
Super Bowl win, MVP or Triple Crown, yeah.
Yeah, the Triple Crown, and then also wants the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP. There's only one other receiver to do that.
The only non-quarterback to get a regular MVP vote this season.
That is true. And then he's the only one other receiver's done that, and that's Jerry Rice. And it took Jerry Rice, I think, like 5 years to like, or something like that, to like complete all of those.
He's nutty.
So he didn't do that in like the same year.
The even more bizarre thing too is they know they're relying on Cooper. Like the Bengals are like, they're throwing to Cooper, and
when you're a dog, bro. You're just a fucking dog. Like, hey, you know where this fucking ball is going. And like, there's nothing you can do to stop it.
That's a certain dom. It's just like, hey, I'm throwing to Coop. You hear that? And they're like, hey guys, we should. Boom, Coop. Now, God, Jesus, the disrespect. So anyway, that's Super Bowl.
Super Bowl is sick. Yeah.
Halftime show is cool.
I made like $300 and then lost it all. So
classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I call that the Ethan special.
Cooking up something real nice. During that though, we got some new looks at some new things, including Lord of the Rings and Doctor Strange.
Why is Lord of the Rings getting all this hate? Or like
that's more so, I think, the reason why I was going to bring it up.
Okay.
There's the new Amazon show, Lord of the Rings Ring of Power. If you're not sure what it is. I don't know how long before the Fellowship and stuff this takes, and the Hobbit and all that we know, but some of like the elves that we know later on are in the show younger. But I think it's supposed to be closer to like the beginning of Middle Earth or something. I'm going to be honest, I don't know the exact things. But it's kind of like, I guess, a prequel or whatever. And people are just complaining already because there's like black elves and people are just...
Are you kidding me?
What, that's why?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah.
That's why people are complaining. Are you fucking kidding me?
They think they're like woking...
Oh my god.
Lord of the Rings.
It's a fucking fantasy show.
Yeah, we
can do whatever the fuck we want. So all this magic shit rings of fucking ungodly power. Dwarves fucking splitting oceans, fighting fucking fire Ragnarok demon fuckers.
Fighting in ghost
and you guys
dimension.
are mad because the elves have a different skin color. Okay, guys, really going masked
well,
off.
It almost seems like it's probably those like neck beard. I care way too much about this.
Yeah, well, technically, Lord of the Rings is the European inspiration, and it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Go have sex.
Well, at this point, too, like I don't know why anyone would complain about inclusion. Like it's just
in a fantasy.
Yeah,
show
fantasy
of
too.
All things.
It would be different if it's like they did like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and they just made like the
East
Airbenders
Asian...
white. Like that would be different. Like the whole point is that's based off East culture.
Yeah, Exactly.
But in a fantasy world, for most part.
So I'm reading this
Make
takes
whatever.
place a minimum of 1,941 years before the Fellowship. So almost like 2,000 years.
It's a while. And there are other complaints, but like the one that's really took track were people complaining that they're like messing with the authenticity, or like that's it. Like, well, certain things can't be certain. Blah blah blah. So that one I don't take much.
Shut up.
I don't really care about that one. The other one, some people are complaining about the CGI, feeling more like Hobbit than Lord of the Rings, which, you know, I'll wait until I see it. I don't really care anymore. Some people are saying it looks too clean. I'll give them that one.
Looks too clean.
Like the characters, the world, like everything feels very pristine and clean. Where like a lot of these are, it's not just elves. It's like these, you know, dwarves and barbarians.
So you say clean when the original trilogy was what, like rustic, kind of like.
Yeah, well, it's just like
very
gritty, dirty. Yeah, like you look and they look like they've been out in the wilderness traveling, kind of thing. You know?
Like high fantasy. I mean, Lord of the Rings is high fantasy, but like high fantasy in the sense it's like, you know, a very old setting. People may not be as, you know, may not shower the way they should. You know, some people might not brush their teeth because they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, this is different. Like an elf society, which elves are different, but like, I can see that with people saying it looks too clean, but they haven't shown everything of the show, so
yeah, I'll wait. It's just that like it's one of those things where it's like the shots. It's for a lot of the people, it's just like they can't put their finger on it, but just a lot of the shots they're seeing, it just seems like something's off, and that's what some people are pointing to.
Too idyllic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I was like, hey, that kind of looks cool.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, oh, like that's.
And I'll watch it, and I hope it's good, because why wouldn't I want cool Lord of the Rings to take off like a TV series? But people were upset about that. People were not upset about, however, the Doctor Strange trailer.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
Which I missed the reveal, so Claire and I waited to watch it because Claire hadn't. I was like, I'll wait to watch it. So she's like, "Oh, let's watch it," and I'm watching this.
Well, because they did like a teaser for the Super Bowl commercial, and it was like maybe 25, 30
right.
second.
And then there's like an actual 3-minute trailer.
Yeah.
So she's showing me the trailer, and we watch it, and I'm like, wasn't that like everything we saw, like the end of Loki or whatever that most recent, or Spider-Man? I don't remember which one had like.
It was a Spider-Man. Like that was
maybe
what
it was Spider-Man.
Like extended.
So I was like, isn't that exactly? And she goes, oops. Oh yeah, that's the older trailer. Here's a newer one. I'm like, oh. I was like, why is everyone freaking out? And then I watched the new one. I'm like, oh, that's why. And it was sick.
Yeah. Dare I say, it looks cooler than. What confuses me though is like, what changes happened to like, because this was originally before COVID and all that, supposed to come out before Spider-Man. So
I don't think it was, but I just think Spider-Man was supposed to.
No, like, but like, if you look at the original like thing when they announced before like COVID and all that stuff, in the order you see that Doctor Strange
is supposed to be one of the first.
That is supposed to be like the first movie that like started off Phase 4, but then I think that what they did was.
Well, I wonder what it was going to be then if it wasn't like the Spider-Man.
I'm sure they probably like threw a couple small things in to retool their shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on in the mind of Marvel.
But
I'm trying to see if I can find like what the original release dates were.
Let me see. Marvel original Phase 4 of 43. Okay, so yeah, I have it right here. So Black Widow's supposed to come out. Wait, no, that's when it.
Yeah, all the ones I'm finding are updated ones. What? I'll be honest, I still haven't seen What If.
I haven't either.
Oh, What If was good?
I need to, but I just haven't. Okay, really here's the original window. I think. Black Widow was supposed to come out May 1st, 2020. Falcon Winter Soldier, fall 2020. Eternals, November 2020. Shang-Chi, February 2021. WandaVision, spring 2021. Doctor Strange, May 2021. Loki, spring 2021. What If, summer 2021. Hawkeye, fall 2021. And then Thor, November 2021. They didn't even have Spider-Man on this one.
Jesus.
And Loki, so that's interesting because like we got
there's so like the
Falcon and
the new one is
like WandaVision went to the front. Then all the TV shows essentially got pushed first. Eternals got pushed way back. Doctor
Shang-Chi
Strange
got
even
pushed.
further. Thor like 2 years later or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They seem to have made it work though. So.
It's all over. But like whatever they did, it's sick. Like I'm all about it.
So yeah, I wonder if that was never. Yeah, what's the difference?
What if?
Yeah, I don't know. Literally, what if? Well, I wonder. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be that big of a change, though. It was probably literally like a minute scene saying, hey, you shouldn't have changed that thing with Spider-Man and messed up the timeline. Whereas normally it would have been like, hey, you shouldn't have messed up with blah, 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 and messed with the timeline. And then I feel like probably the Spider-Man thing is going to be probably referenced very minimally, I assume.
I got so speaking of Spider-Man, there's kind of this debate. Do you guys think like movies like Spider-Man should be like in the Oscars for like Best Picture and stuff like that?
I don't think they will, but
I don't think they will because
Hollywood hates them.
Well, why? Like, it's still a good movie. You know what I mean? Like,
because like the snobby actual filmmakers that like the Oscar kind of people, they look down on it. Even like my personal trainer, he was into all that stuff, and he's like, I hate Marvel movies.
How
and they're
can
like,
you hate Marvel movies? Like, I don't. They're just fun. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like I think there's a lot of artistic merit in Marvel movies that a lot of people are too ignorant to see. But for them, it's like they see like grandiose fantasy superhero, right? Like it's too fun. It's too kiddie. It's too campy. It's too silly. And like, but like, you know, like you look at like Lord of the Rings, right? But they're like, oh no, that type of fantasy is cool. So it's just like
they pick and choose. Like what?
Yeah, it's very picky, very like cherry picky mentality. I think they do deserve to be in there. I don't think everyone deserves to be in there, right?
But do you think like Lord of the Rings trilogy, like say those came out today, would those be in with now this stigma of like I don't know Marvel type of movies? Do you think that type of thing would even be in there?
No,
I don't think
because I would still put them up with like we saw essentially like Game of Thrones was like a new the closest thing we've gotten to like Lord of the Rings recently, and that was taken very.
TV has always been a little more like the people who work in TV have been more like forgiving and like welcoming to the fantasy idea.
But I still think if Lord of the Rings came out now, I think it would still, if they were made the same way. Yeah, because like, it's hard to put it down into words, and I can't exactly like, put to words what I'm trying to say. But like, there's, like, I can't say specifically why they wouldn't be chosen and exactly the criteria. But it's just like it's just one of those where it's like, if you look at a list of movies that they picked, and then you look at that, and you kind of see like, okay, well. Usually a lot of the difference is one, artistically, not only in cinematography, storytelling. They like dramas. That's always a big one. Like, you don't really see comedies.
They fucking love drama.
They like slow burns. They like character-centric.
They like grounded in reality.
Did we go over the latest nominations?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then we went through winners, I believe.
Wait.
No, I'm talking about the latest
for this year.
For this year.
No, we have not this year.
Let's see if you guys have seen these movies. Okay, this is what's nominated for Best Picture currently. Okay. Belfast.
Have not seen it.
No.
Coda.
No.
Coda was actually really good.
Is that the Pixar movie? Or no?
How do you spell it?
CODA.
No, Coda's the what you call it?
There's some drama romance.
Okay, it's the movie with why am I having such a hard time describing this? It was the movie about a girl growing up in a deaf family.
She's the only hearing member of a deaf family from
Yeah.
Gloucester, Massachusetts. At 17, she works mornings before school to help her parents and brother keep their fishing business afloat. But in joining her high school's choir club, Ruby finds herself drawn to both her duet partner and her latent passion for singing.
Oh, so
I haven't seen it.
very
Great movie.
To be honest, I hadn't even heard of that one.
Don't Look Up.
Nope.
Wait,
It's actually
why does that
it's
sound
actually
so?
dope. It's on Netflix. It's actually a really good movie. I really like
Oh,
it.
with Leo.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I haven't seen that one yet. I wanted to, but like the funny thing is, go through like a list of like Oscar nomination for Best Picture, and those are all the kind of movies Claire hates. And so I'm like, ooh, Don't Look Up looks really interesting. She's like, So I'm like, okay, I'll watch it on my own time. And
I actually think Claire would like it. It's actually really it's awesome. Drive My Car.
I heard that one was really good. I want to watch it. I have not watched it.
An aging widowed actor seeks a chauffeur. The actor turns to his go-to mechanic, who ends up recommending a 20-year-old girl. Despite their initial misgivings, a very special relationship develops between the two. It appears to be Korean? No, Japanese.
Oh.
It's 2 hours, 59 minutes. Holy.
Jeez. Dune.
Hey, I've seen that.
Dune, your mom.
Dune is sick.
Dune is like the perfect
I like Dune.
example of like fantasy, but still like
but not Marvel fantasy.
Still like serious. Like it takes itself seriously to the point where people are like, okay, that's my type of fantasy. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think that's why some people didn't like it. It's because they have a different idea. Whereas like in this case, literally the idea of Dune and why they were also worried it wasn't going to do well. Even the people who were making it was like, there's just so much to fit in, and they want to make sure they ground it and actually give the characters stories and help you buy into this world instead of the usual. Well, we're going to fit what could be a couple books or whatever, like a giant thing. We're going to slam it into 2 hours. And I like that they didn't with Dune. But I think for some people, they were like, it was really slow. And I'm not going to argue. It's a slower pace, but I think it's exactly what the movie needed.
Yeah.
And I think some people nowadays just, like I might even just be that Marvel effect where they expect, bam, bam, boom, boom. Things are always going on. But I thought that was great.
King Richard. That's like the Will Smith movie about this.
That movie banged.
The Serena Williams.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
That movie banged.
It was good, Blue?
It was very good.
I think it's on HBO Max, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's where I saw it, yes.
I haven't seen a lot of movies the past couple of years.
Licorice Pizza.
I have heard of that one. That was the one.
You've heard of that?
Yeah, because it wasn't like Matthew McConaughey had a really small role in it.
I have no idea. I've never heard of Licorice Pizza ever.
Yeah, it was getting a lot of hype.
I actually really wanted to watch it.
Or Bradley Cooper, not Matthew McConaughey. Sorry.
I wanted to watch it because one of the main actress is in this band called Haim, and I love that band.
Alana Haim.
I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, she's one of the girls from Haim. So I haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to see it just because of that. Great band.
We have Nightmare Alley.
I've heard this movie get hyped up so much.
I feel bad for it because it was like Spider-Man weekend or whatever. So it's like, hey guys, Guillermo del Toro or whatever just came out, Spider-Man, and so
what if you guys watch Nightmare Alley flushed? Jokes.
Yeah. Oops. But that one also, what'd that one have? That had that also had Bradley Cooper, right? Bradley Cooper, Kate Blanchett, Toni Collette, a whole bunch of people. I wanted to see that one too, but that was also the thing. It's like, if I can get Claire to go to the movies, one, it's not going to be for that. Two, it was Spider-Man. So I think that's part of it too. Is just like Claire just has very specific taste in movies, and usually when I'm watching TV or something, it's with her. But then usually, I just haven't made a lot of time to watch movies myself, so I've missed out on a lot.
The Power of the Dog.
What's the dog doing? Never heard
that
that.
That has like Ed Cumberbatch in it, I guess.
I'm sold.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
A Domineer. Oh, this was on Netflix or something, right?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, a domineering rancher responds with mocking cruelty when his brother brings home a new wife and her son until the unexpected comes to pass. It looked very... I almost didn't want to watch it because I have a feeling Benedict Cumberbatch is going to do a really good job, and I'm going to hate him. Because if you like watch the trailer, you already hate Benedict Cumberbatch's character, and I don't know if I want to. If I want to hate Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'm not sure if you're ready to hate him like that.
Yeah. I don't know if I want that to be tainted.
West Side Story.
I heard
that was the
really
Spielberg
good
one
as well. I heard this one was amazing, but like.
But it's West Side Story. Like, come on, like
it didn't do good in box office.
Well, see, I think that's what's just been trending too. Is the more artistic and filmy, I guess you could say, in a traditional sense, the worse it's doing. And I think part of that is why some people dislike Marvel, is because it's changed audiences' perceptions, attention spans, interests.
Be more fun
and
more like instant
gratification,
serotonin straight to the brain immediately.
Yeah. And you don't. I mean, that's even why I like them. Like, you can essentially just kind of turn your brain off. Whereas, like, when I was watching Green Knight, I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Like 5 years ago, I was probably like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. But now I'm like, do we need to do this right now?
What the night doing?
What the night doing? So, I mean, it's pretty interesting because seriously, like 10, 12 years ago, I was a film snob. I was like the exact same way.
My little brother's like he thinks West Side Story is like the greatest movie like ever made. Like,
but I think the argument to be made too is we're seeing this not only in just any entertainment, is that it's like movies, especially games. You no longer see new IPs, new ideas. It's the next superhero movie, the 8th installment or 12th installment, like Fast and Furious. We're writing this really popular book now into a movie. It's never like new ideas. Like, we're remaking this play that you've heard of for dozens and dozens of years. Even like West Side Story. The other ones, it's like, okay, well, we're just rebooting the film from 30 years ago. Stuff like that. And we've just seen that come more and more over the past couple of years. And I think that's why some people are also upset. Is it's harder now, especially for filmmakers, to get the trust and then funding from studios to do a new idea, rather than like, hey, hear me out, Fast and Furious 13. Yep, there you go.
Yep, I'm in.
Because they just know,
yeah, let's do this.
They just want return on investment and the safest thing. Because even like, think about it. Like 15 years ago, I was like, dude, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out. Like, what? Guardians of the who? There's a talking tree. But now you go, it's a Marvel movie.
I saw that trailer.
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie. Oh, I'm there. Sure. And they've literally just bought
like
you
when
into...
Marvel movies were still kind of like,
Well, 2007 was Iron Man 1, right?
Yeah, I think Guardians was like 2014, I want to say.
Iron Man 1 was 2008. So Iron Man 1 wouldn't come out yet.
I remember Iron Man 1, I was like, superhero? I was like, sure, we haven't had a Spider-Man in a while. Like,
game changer. So I think that's part of the thing too, is like they can get you to buy in like Eternals. I wasn't even really sold, but I'm like, man, it's a Marvel movie. And so now almost any superhero movie is a safe play, because now people it's just expected and they know what to expect going in. And I think that's part of the problem too with some of these movies, is like Nightmare Alley, an obscure Guillermo del Toro movie, which are pretty cool. But the thing is, like, a lot of people like to know if they're going to spend their money and their time, they want to know what they're going in for. Personally, I prefer to not usually see trailers or anything. I prefer to just go in blind. But a lot of people are like, hey, if I'm going to do this, I want to know what I'm in for. And people are just more conservative with their time because so many things are trying to pull us more than ever. Shows, movies, 80 million subscription services, podcasts, video games. That's why even video games have gone the same way. Like live service games are a thing now because they want you to stay. And that's why we don't see like sequels as much anymore because they don't need to and they want to keep you there. And that's just it's like why YouTube is changing and why like my channel's having a harder time because it's the exact same thing with YouTube viewers. They like to go to a channel or someone they watch and know what to expect. Like, hey, I like Destiny. Well, then I'm going to go to a channel where I know if I go there and there's new content, I can go watch some Destiny. Same thing across anything, which is why you don't see much variety anymore because it's just harder to pull off. So, yeah, there's a little soapbox, I guess. But
yeah, thanks for that, Mr. Fruit.
By the way, why isn't Demon Slayer in the animated feature film category?
Mugen Train.
Oh my god,
dude!
How like that's considered an animated featured film, right? Like
the story could be balls, but the animation it's a bonus. Everything else is. But the animation in that show, dude, is illegal. I'm watching this. I'm like, I should be paying right now.
For this. Yeah, exactly.
Like
I should be directly paying for this, dude. I should directly be donating to this.
Something this beautiful. And then, because the thing is, I'm watching Demon Slayer. I'm like, all right, well, I'll go watch an episode of Boruto. And it's like stick figures in comparison. And I can't hate on him. Like, literally, Demon Slayer sets on nearly impossible precedent.
Oh, no, you can make fun of Boruto. Absolutely make fun of Boruto.
But that's the thing. Naruto had better animation, too. These early episodes... I've been stuck in, like, the 30s of Boruto for about a year now. I literally can't get past it, man. It's just...
And then you got Attack on Titan right now, and that is just banging.
Attack on Titan's banging. And that's almost done. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. Because Demon Slayer only has like 2 episodes left until they go on break again. And
oh wait, there's another episode this Sunday? I thought the last episode was the season finale.
Oh, you might be right. For some reason, I think I remember hearing the number 13.
Oh, I hope you're right.
But I agree, because after watching last episode, I was like, oh, okay, that felt like a finale.
Yeah.
But then Attack on Titan's going to end here in a couple episodes. I don't know how much is left. And then...
Yeah. Bangs. So good.
I'm going to be lost.
Is there anything else we want to touch on before we did some questions?
Except for Witch Queen.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Witch Queen's going to be sweet.
Witch Queen going to be tight.
Catch us on our streams. How about that?
It'll be fun for a couple weeks. Then I'll get bored, talk shit about Destiny again, get excited for the next X-Pack, run the cycle all over again.
All right. Congratulations. The 3 of you have found a genie. Oh, this one's from Mark. You guys have found a genie, and you split 3 wishes between you. 1 each. What do you wish for?
I'll go first. I take your wishes. Thanks.
Okay, well, that's pretty selfish.
And then I get to use the next 2 however I want.
I want to be richer than Jeff Bezos.
I wish to invalidate Fruit's first wish.
But you can't. You don't have a wish anymore. I took it.
No, because you broke the rules. No, you broke the rules. That's against the rules. So I can validate your wish now. Whatever.
I feel like
he's just looking at you guys arguing while he's like counting my dollars.
I feel like you wouldn't want to be richer than Jeff Bezos, though.
Why? Why the fuck not?
Because everyone's going to be like, well, one, Jeff Bezos has a lot of things to protect his wealth, and you just amassing a ridiculous amount of wealth so quickly puts you in like a lot of danger.
Like, here's what I'm saying. Like, I think a better wish would be like, I want to never have to worry about money again, nor my kid. Like, my entire generational line or whatever no longer needs to worry about money. Yeah.
And what if that is like they turn into thieves now? Now you guys are trained assassin thieves.
Okay, well, you get a little more specific, but I think like you don't need to literally just like a sum amount. It's just like I I'll always be able to afford something.
And then like the genie gives you like a card or something, like a credit card.
Yeah, like a black luxury card, and you just swipe it wherever you want. Boop.
It just goes into the
that sounds
genie's
sick.
account.
But because it's like if you're richer than Jeff, it just sounds. It's like being a celebrity, man. It's like, oh, that must be. But really, it's got to just be absolutely miserable. People always watching you, or like that too. If like you have to then second guess every interaction with every person, every friend, every family member. It'd just be completely different.
Yeah, I just want a card with no expiration date that just I can use it at anywhere, anytime, and it will cover my transaction that I choose.
And like on your deathbed, Blue, you're like saying goodbye to your family, and you just put up the card and just give it to them. Like,
yeah, I'd pass on the card of infinite transactional. Like that'd be sick. Just a card, a magic card. Any transaction I want to cover, the card covers.
Goo Boy says, a question for Fruit. I found Brock Brigon through your old Destiny montages. Do you have any other good recommendations like him? Who's that?
Brock Berrigan. I did all my old, a lot of montages, especially my unbroken montages to Brock Berrigan. Just some really cool music, but like, I don't know, you're probably like, dude, that's a banger. What other bangers you got? I'm kind of, that was a one-hit wonder. Like, Brock Berrigan's kind of one of the underground people I know that I just really like. That's about all I got. I like 4 Year Strong, but they're pop punk, but they're not as well as known. Yeah. I wish I could help you, but I don't. I'm not good at finding music. Lucky I found him. Most of them are just autoplays when I'm working out on YouTube. I'm like, oh, hey, add to playlist.
Question here from the counselor says, what is the one thing for which you are most resentful to your parents, and what is the one thing you are grateful for your parents?
Most resentful, them literally forcing me to play football for years. Hated that shit.
Is that American football or footy?
Oh, American football. I loved football. I hated football.
There's a distinction.
I would say specifically, I guess my dad. The only thing that comes to my mind is my dad taking my soccer way too seriously.
Something about parents and sports, huh?
Yeah,
like my dad taking soccer to the point where it was like, dude, this isn't even fun anymore. Like, if I fucking hate this, and quit.
Yeah, I'm literally a child, and you're putting the expectations of the world on me. Like, I'm gonna whatever you want me to do, I'm now gonna hate.
Like, if I wasn't gonna be a professional athlete, then I failed in my dad's eyes. It was awful.
Yep.
I don't know. There's a lot of things as a kid I didn't really agree with, but as an adult, I'm like,
Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, like
it made me play Pokemon more. So, and you know what? It has better longevity. And if I played the card game, it was a little better on Pokemon.
I would say grateful though. You know, I always had my parent. You know, if I needed anything, I always had it. You know what I mean? Like my dad and my mom, like they were always there. Like,
I guess if anything, I wish they would have. And it wasn't something they didn't do; it's something they didn't do. And also, I can't blame him for not. But when I was like, I'm gonna quit Pokemon because I'm going into high school, and I don't want kids. I wish they would just been like,
don't care about what other people think. Like, do your own thing. Like,
well, that's about the only time I ever did, and I regret it. So I wish they're like, or at the very least, go to that Worlds because I missed the World Championships because it was my first week of high school. Spoilers. You ain't missing nothing.
Still playing Pokemon.
Yeah. And I would have gone, and oh, man. So.
Well, I think, like, when you're a kid, like, when you go to your first day of high school, your whole life, like, when you watch, like, shows on Disney Channel and, you know, all that kind of stuff, it's this whole kind of thing, and it's not.
Yeah, you don't. Especially because I was only going to miss, like, 1 or 2 days, too. But it was, like, towards the end, I was like, I don't want to miss. Yeah. But what I am.
to sleep. I don't because I'm pretty
It's your
much.
baby.
And I don't want to miss my first 2 days of high school.
I'm grateful, I guess, 2 things specifically, but one, just like that, if I ever wanted to do something, they never just like usually straight up told me no. They always supported me. Like Pokemon. My dad or mom would sacrifice days in their weekends sometimes, drive me to tournaments, and or even when I wanted to swim or like go to the gym before I could drive, they would drive. Yeah, they were always really supportive of whatever I wanted to do. And also
this YouTube thing.
Yeah. I wish they would have. Well, no. They didn't buy anything for me and they refused, but I'm kind of glad I had to work for it.
Yeah, that taught you a lot.
But one thing I am glad that I wasn't as a kid was they stopped me from learning more about poker and getting more invested in it.
Oh.
Because I was like, why did you do it? Like, I was really getting into Hold'em and stuff. And I was getting like books and stuff. I was ready to go through the whole 9 yards. And they stopped me. And I was so upset at them. But I am so thankful that they stopped me because I would be on the streets right now. And I 100% would have a gambling problem.
Oh, dude, yeah. The only reason you're not underwater from gotcha right now is because you're already too loaded to fail at gotcha now.
And if I'd started with poker, I would have never gotten there. So, thank you, Mom.
What are you grateful for, Blue? Anything?
I am definitely grateful that my parents actually encouraged me to play video games.
Interesting.
Like they were like,
mine did the opposite.
They were pretty much like, yeah, like they used to try to stop me, but then they're like, they saw how much video games actually engaged me in a way that like they were like, yeah, this is like literally the only time we ever see him engaged. So like, hell yeah, let him do technology and playing games, go on the computer. Like they're like, we didn't get it because we're boomers, but we were like, hey, like this engages him. Like, well, let him do it and get him a computer, get him a laptop, let him play on his PlayStation. You know, video games are tight.
I guess I will say, I wish they were a little more supportive. Because the other day I was thinking back on it too. Like, unironically, I played video games, but like I was a straight up normie until about 8th grade. Like,
oh yeah, like you weren't like Dado. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I was even thinking about it. Like, probably before 8th grade, the amount of video games I played in a week would be like 2 hours, an hour, 2 maybe. Usually, if I'm over at a friend's.
Nothing. Like, you know. Like,
yeah, I used to go outside. That was it. Like I used to be fit. So I'm like glad that for the most part. Well, honestly, up until about 8th grade, they never timed me on video games because I didn't play many video games. And so I'm thankful that I was able to, I don't know, go outside and, because like honestly, otherwise, I probably would have just stayed inside. So I'm thankful I did while I could until I got injured, and then I had to stay inside.
Yeah, I had soccer to be my outside time, and then as soon as I was inside, it was just video games, and that was it.
But I wish once I hit 8th grade and started really getting into it, that they didn't crack down as much on it, because it just created this unhealthy, like seen as a bad thing.
I had to hide it from my parents.
Like.
But it's kind of exciting. Ooh,
yeah, that was really the only, and that's why I just went like full sin, like freshman year of college, especially. I'm like, dude, what are they gonna do? I'm playing League 12 hours a day, and you can't do nothing about it.
Like my son's in silver and just won't climb out.
Hey, but
maybe if you were a challenger.
I didn't miss any classes though. That was the other thing. It's so easy. Just literally show up to class. That's all you gotta do. And even if you hate college, especially if you're paying for it, you're paying for it. Just go to the classes.
I got a question for you, Mr. Fruit.
Yeah.
You have a son. He's a gamer, okay?
Nice.
Let's say he's like around 11 or 12, okay?
Bragger.
He's like pushing Challenger in League.
I was going to say, he's probably beating me in every game at that point.
Okay, he's like pushing Challenger in League or something like that. Like, he's really good and he's like, I want to go League of Legends full time or something like that, and like do school, but like while I'm at home, I finish homework and then I just do League of Legends. Do you think that's a viable like thing for kids these days? Like, if they are that good, you wouldn't let them. You'd say no.
I'd support them, but I would still make sure there's some boundaries so they have some, because like especially that early on in their life, if all they know for the next couple of years is that, they're going to miss out on a lot of growth, development, personable skills.
Responsibility is like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like if something's really important for you, video game wise, like you got to go compete at something. Like hell yeah, we'll take the time. We'll be like, let's do it. But like day to day, you got shit to be responsible for. So,
like I would support him. I'd be like, hey, if you want to, but it would also be like, one, I guess at that point it'd be, I will have a better understanding of esports, for instance, but like, it's like, I want to go pro in Gears of War 3 back in the day. I'm like, son, this might have like a year lifespan. All right. Like, we don't know. But now it's like,
that's
hey,
why
I want to
pick
go
something like League, like,
yeah, like, but hey, I want to go pro in League, and it's been out for like a couple years, and there's a pro scene, and you're like, okay, well, maybe. But then I'd also have to break down. It's like, why do you enjoy competing? Is it because you like video games?
Or do you just like pushing P and owning noobs?
Because if you like video games, just know that you'll probably grow to stop liking them when you're forced to play.
You got to beat me first.
Yeah, you got to get through me, son. I don't know. It would be case by case, but I would make sure that that's not their entire life aside from school.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is no matter what, it's like you just get through high school at the very least. I'm not going to tell you to go to college. Like, who knows at that point? But like, you're just gonna hurt yourself if you don't at least apply yourself somewhere else.
Even Spider-Man went to high school.
I'm in the same boat. If your personality is only video games, then you're like a pretty lame human.
It's
so
not.
You gotta have some character growth and development before you go into.
It could be playing video games. It could be reading. It could just at so early in their developmental life that they're only doing one thing. Like that's, I think, just yeah. Because
I was only doing one thing at that age, and that was soccer. But I did have video games, I guess, but I wasn't.
But I just think at that point, like, you just be exposed and taken in as much as you can. I don't know. I feel like tunnel visioning your kid at such a young age can be detrimental.
Yeah, it can be.
That's why my parents were pushing me into football.
Crazy Yogi says, "Hey boys, have you caught up on Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan? Any thoughts on them so far?"
Hype.
Attack on Titan, wicked. Demon Slayer, my eyes have been blessed by the god of anime.
It's so weird. Like, the animation is so good. Like, I feel like my eyes love Demon Slayer, and then it's my brain and heart that loves Attack on Titan more. You know what I mean? Like, it's my eyes.
I'm at the point where it's like my brain and my eyes love Attack on Titan. But like Demon Slayer has opened my eyes to a different level of eyesight that I didn't think existed before.
Well, okay, so just funny. I don't know if I mentioned this. I only figured out a couple weeks ago too, and it makes sense. But when we're like watching combat scenes, for instance, excuse me, and Tanjiro's doing like water wheel, the waves and water aren't there. Those aren't actually happening. They're just visual elements to help show what stance they're using. As an actual fight, it's just swords and scythes or whatever.
Oh.
But what they're helping display, especially like fighting, is the stance they're using and how it's helping to move in combat. Like, there's not literally apparently like a water wheel or whatever,
or like a dragon, like flying next to him and stuff.
So just, and I guess it makes sense.
I'd say this for a lot of anime in general. Like it's more like interpretation of how they feel when they are doing it.
And so visually, it's a lot more interesting.
There's a question later on in the thing that I'll kind of just skip to now. Ryle says, favorite Demon Slayer character? I'm interested to see the Snake guy. I want to know more about Snake guy. He seems cool. But Zenitsu by far.
Zenitsu when he's asleep. But
I love him when he's awake too, man. He's funny.
Otherwise, I don't know. How could you hate Tanjiro, man? Boy's just trying to help his sister. Tanjiro. I know, but like, I don't know if I could
he
like
just
anyone
seems so
more
perfect. You know what? He almost has that like he's so perfect in every kind of sense of the way that like it's hard. It's like Superman almost. Like I can't relate to Superman.
I can relate to Tanjiro. Just wants to help his sister.
Tanjiro.
But otherwise, sleeping Zenitsu. Just sick. I really like after seeing Mugen train and stuff too. Rengoku.
Rengoku is
Rengoku. I do have a soft spot for Tanjiro. So
I did like this. The latest Hashira though. What's his?
Hashira.
Yeah,
the sound guy. Yeah, what's his name?
Also, but it's kind of spoilers. What Rengoku's son's dad?
Tenjin Uzui.
Yeah, so
I don't know if it's Tengen or Tenjin.
What Rengoku's dad tells Tanjiro about a breathing technique. Okay, well, a little bit of. But
you won't even know if we don't explain. You don't even know. It's just
that it all like stems from that. That's sick. Like,
and it makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah. Z-Dog says, what is the most useless superpower you could have that could still improve your everyday life? Such as giving off internet from your hands from direct contact or being able to sleep on command.
Oh, sleeping on command. That'd be the best.
That's
it.
I think if I had the superpower to sit with perfect posture and not have it be uncomfortable, I think that would be a sick superpower to have.
The ability to properly regulate dopamine.
That's a pretty sick superpower too.
That would be nice.
Like if you could like touch and like give dopamine or something like that.
Well, I was just thinking I won't be depressed. I mean, I don't need meds. My brain would just work how it's supposed to.
Chives, it says, have you guys played the game or Ready or Not? It's a SWAT game, not quite the level of aim like Tarkov, but definitely more hardcore than most other shooters. It's really fun, and I think you can make some great content. It can get pretty ridiculous. No, I've never heard of it.
I have it installed.
Oh, well,
I haven't played it yet.
If you want to do, I'm down. We'll do 2 more questions here. Finier Time Lost says, hello, long-time listener, first-time asker here. Fruit, how did you like the GM?
Which Grandmaster?
That just says, how did you like the GM?
Oh. It's good. Exodus Crash can suck my balls. But otherwise, it's fun. I like the Grandmasters. Well, one, I've never bothered. I think that was my problem with Destiny. I explained in the video. The reason I'm enjoying Destiny more right now is because I'm not playing Destiny and playing Destiny PvE to play Destiny PvP. I'm just playing Destiny to play Destiny or to get to in-game PvE. And PvP is something I can enjoy, but it's not like if I'm not enjoying PvP, I'm not enjoying Destiny. That was the problem. So now it's a thing I can take more casually. But now shooting for in-game PvE, which I never did before, is more fun. And I never did because I just never bothered to get high enough light through a season. So doing like Master Lost Sectors, Grandmasters, Master Dungeon raids. I actually like min-maxing, trying to get actual builds. I know engaging with those systems has been a lot more fun. So like Grandmaster is more interesting because you actually have to engage during the Nightfall. I don't quite like if I could, I would change it a little bit because what makes the Grandmaster so difficult is just like, hey, everything can one-shot you. So if it was difficult a little more mechanically than just hampering just like your power, I would like it more, but I still like it because I actually have to approach the Nightfalls though in ways never before, and where a problem just was never the case. Now it is. And I like the rewards. But yeah, I think a perfect balance for Grandmaster would still be making it difficult in, taking versus dealing damage, but not to where the entire difficulty curve comes from try not to die because you peek out and you're dead, but instead they're still tough and you still got to manage how much damage you're taking, but also mechanically you're challenged more. I think that would, in my perfect world, make Grandmasters like the best.
They also ask, Rob, what's your favorite CS skin? The Op Gunganir is my favorite skin. Blue says, no question, but I saw you in a D2 lobby a year ago, and it made my day, Lamau.
Yay!
Lamau.
I hope I hugged you. I hope I wasn't AFK.
Noah is a gamer with the last question. Says, can I do an ad read? I know for a question that won't be immediate. No. What do y'all think? What do you think y'all's 10-year-old selves would have to say or think about you today? 10-year-old me's in Dare at the moment, so they're probably very upset that I'd be taking these joint hits quite often. But they're probably stoked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know that guy you met the other day who wears the Jaguars shirt? Yeah, you get to play video games with him. Like, yeah, okay, he's sick. Yeah, I'm in.
I'd be like, what do you do? I'm like, play more video games while you can. And also memorize the Pokemon type chart or else you'll never hear the end of it. Like, why is that important? Don't just... Hey, you know those non-defensive moves? Start looking at them. Just get used to them.
Non-defensive.
Non-offensive, yeah. You know, like...
Leer.
Okay, well... Those are good when you... I think, like, when I play, like, Blaze Black, when it's the most hardcore Nuzlocke. But aside from that, there are just other moves. Like, Leer at a base level is not great. But actually bothering to learn... Because, I mean, that was the case literally until I Nuzlocked the first time in Hard Gold a couple years ago. Like, it really was. It's like, is this weak to this? I don't know. I'll try. Oh, I died. Okay, whatever. I'll just send the next one and try again. Like, I was never forced to be like, wait. No, I really need to understand. No, okay, this is good against... And that, or like, bother to pay attention to base stats and why they're outspeeding me. Or like, hey, defensively, there's never stuff I worried about. It was really just like, me hyper beam, me flamethrower, me solar beam. Just like, I just want to do cool big moves. But also, I'd be like, hey, you're gonna get pretty good at the TCG. Don't quit. Thanks.
What about you, Blue?
My younger self would probably think I'm pretty fucking cool, to be honest.
Yeah, that's sick.
Like, what do you do? I play video games. What do you do most days? Video games? Fuck yeah.
Nice. Oh, I can't wait.
You're going to have crippling depression, but you're going to play video games a lot.
Well, the funny thing is, I told my 10-year-old self that, they would no concept. Like, okay.
They'd be like, I could deal with that shit. You get to play video games?
Yeah, you're just a little sad or something? Well, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like that.
If only you knew.
If only you knew, kid.
Enjoy it while you can.
Boys, that'll probably do it for the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 121. We did it. Congratulations. Thank you, Stans, for supporting the Patreon. Thank you, listeners, for listening. Make sure you guys like on YouTube. It helps a lot. Leave a comment on if you think if the sun's coming up tomorrow.
Bold.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So leave a comment if you think the sun's coming up tomorrow. We will catch you guys all on episode 122.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, what's up?
So I remember seeing this. So you Groundhog's Day, you know, like we determine all this kind of stuff when the groundhog comes up and if you see a shadow.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the groundhog dies before Groundhog Day? What is
like?
That
are you saying like they open the door and the groundhog is dead?
Yeah.
Like what the groundhog doing?
What does that mean?
What the groundhog do?
Because groundhog going out there and seeing his shadow or not seeing his shadow means nothing.
Follow the signs, Rob.
That is true.
If you'd followed the initial one, Harambe'd be dabbing in heaven right now.
I would have made a lot of money.
Oh, but yeah, I made that joke. Is like, where's the flag on that play when the face mask to get the touchdown? I was like, oh, they threw it, but Harambe caught it midair. Yeah, he's like,
Harambe went like, I'll take that.
He's like,
that was like Harambe's like last thing he could do in the real world. Like, God gives you one, and Harambe was
like right now. It's like, it almost worked. All right, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for your support. Love you. Deuces.